Hello all and welcome to Agile NZ TV Live. I'm joined here by one of our keynote speakers at the conference, Michael Spayd of the Agile Coaching Institute. Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
Cool, so you and Alyssa Adkins gave a keynote this morning?
We just did,
How did that go?
I think it went really well.
Yeah, happy with it?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Cool. For the people who aren't here and couldn't make it along, can you give us a bit of a summary of what it was that you talked about?
Well, it was really introducing the framework from my book that's in process called Coaching the Agile Enterprise, and it was trying to give people a big map or framework for understanding where their organization was, where their teams were, where their practices and mindsets and culture and organization structure was, and how to understand that, the level of development it's at, and therefore what's possible within that context, because we want this really cool agile enterprise, but most of us are not really in organizational situations that are going to allow that to happen in the biggest scale that we want, maybe. But so we were trying to create a realistic lens for people to look through to see what was really possible in the organization that they actually work in.
Yeah, so trying to identify things that people can actually go and do and take away and apply.
Yes.
What is it that you see as the biggest sort of challenge to that, reaching that agile enterprise that we're aiming to get to?
Well, most people have not developed the kind of mental complexity inside that's going to give rise to the ideas that gave rise to Agile are very cutting edge in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And we're not totally a match for those developmentally. We haven't, we think it sounds good to be a servant leader, but, we lean back on command and control in ourselves.
Sort of catching up to that mentality.
So it's like the process has really evolved a lot, but the inside mentality and the culture that we have in our organizations has not quite caught up to that.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a while for that to happen.
Yeah, it's really difficult to change those mindsets and the ways that people are thinking about things. And it's, I think I agree with you. There's definitely an over-reliance on sort of the processes and things that we put in place without that fundamental shift.
They're a good place to start, but they don't get us all the way there. And they're only they're going to start to get in there, and we're going to implement them the way that we're wired right now, not the way that some agile coach wants us to.
Cool. So one of the big themes of this conference is around transformation.
Yeah.
Can you sort of share with us what was one of your personal transformation moments that really sort of set you on the agile path, as it were, or even just a really significant experience in changing something and making something happen?
For me, I suppose a couple of possibilities. One that comes to mind is when I was an Agile coach. I've been doing Agile coaching since about 2001, actually, really early on, and in a large-scale transformation. And I had plenty of Agile ambition to create new kind of organizations. And I went to professional coaching school and learned how to become a professional coach.
Right.
And that really shifted. And I continued with that, both individual coaching and then systems or team coaching. And that shifted my mindset a lot. And it helped me be less, think that I had the answers for other people.
Right.
And more that I needed to help them find
discover
answers
their own
themselves.
Answers. Yeah.
And in a very deep way that just really, I think, stuck with me and made me less ambitious on other people's behalf. And
you sort of got to help them get there up and sort of drag them kicking and screaming behind you.
Yeah, that's just painful for everybody.
Yeah.
So you get, I want to go toward people that want to change, and I want to lead the people that aren't ready for that alone.
Yeah, great. So we're here in New Zealand. Have you been to New Zealand before?
I have.
You have? What's your favorite thing about the country?
Well, I like the Kiwi spirit.
Yeah. How would you characterize that?
It's very quiet on the outside in a certain way, but very serious and thoughtful on the inside. I'm extremely rugged, like people are crazy here with how much they, go around in shorts in the ridiculously cold weather here in Wellington right now. So there's an external ruggedness like that, but also a deep thoughtfulness that, the classes that we've taught here have been really very transformational.
Awesome.
And that that happens to different degrees in different parts of the world,
Yeah.
and here it happens more than it does.
Oh, that's a huge compliment. So that's good for the people of New Zealand.
Yeah.
One final question. So Kiwis are kind of obsessed with this thing called number 8 wire. It's like a gauge of wire that they can use to fix anything in any sort of MacGyver-like in any situation.
Yeah, right.
What's your kind of go-to tool in a coaching situation when you're in a bit of a bind? Is there one thing that you sort of call on?
For me, it's doing something that we call in systems coaching reading an emotional field. So it means reading the energy, the atmosphere that's going on in a room, a meeting of a couple of people or a meeting of a team or a meeting of, the whole organization.
Yep.
And being in touch with that and reflecting that back to the group in some way, because that creates a different kind of self-organization in the system for the group, for the system to see itself.
Yeah.
And so if there's any one thing that I do, my gauge 8 wire, you said?
Number 8 wire.
Number 8
yeah.
wire.
That's
that
your
would
number
be
8
my
wire.
number 8 wire.
Awesome.
And I got this
and the All Black
cool
scarf as
all
well.
black
So,
scarf that I just got
now
as
you're
a gift
sorted.
today. Yes, now I'm sorted. I'm loving having a scarf.
Excellent.
And I like this one.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
Thanks for
you're
talking to us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference and your time in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So thanks very much. Cheers.